most important conversations in business don't happen in boardrooms. They happen when you are moving, when you're challenged, and when nobody is performing. We designed curated live experiences in nature, in motion across Europe, where founders, executives, and investors build the kind of trust that usually take years in a weekend. And our fireside chats are where that journey begins. A room, a conversation, the right people, and it's where the inspiration starts. So thank you so much for being here and for making the time to join us here for this fireside chat. Okay, so introducing Fernanda. Fernanda, I did a massive text that I need to go back and forth, like I think 10 times to try to summarize it because I have so much to say, not just about you, but maybe things that you don't even know about it. So our guest today is somebody that I have actually a personal story with. And 21 years ago is even scary. 21 years ago, I was windsurfing. And when there was no wind, I used to swim, to ride, and to run. And someone told me, Renata, did you know that actually this is a sport? And I didn't know that triathlon exists. But around that time, there was a TV show happening in Brazil called Ápice. It was on the Open TV in Bandeirantes. And they were following a woman on her journey to race Ironman Hawaii. And they were showing her training and the sacrifice and the road to Kona. And I was watching it after people told me about triathlon, and she looked completely normal, not a superhuman, not distant, absolutely real. And this woman was Fernanda Keller. I went to her website and I wrote her, I don't know if you remember this, Fernanda, this enormous, embarrassing email explaining my whole life. You can just imagine how big it was. Asking her, how can you start triathlon? I didn't know the how. I waited a couple of days and she actually responded to me. She wrote back. And that day, I would say, I can safely say that changed my life. And when I actually saw her in person, was even better because I saw this calm, humble, completely present woman, and something clicked in my mind. I thought, if she can do this triathlon thing, I can definitely try. And this was 21 years ago. Fernanda brought triathlon to Brazil in the 80s at a time that women weren't supposed to do sports like this, sports considered for men. Fernanda has won Ironman Brazil 5 times, and she placed top 10 in Hawaii 14 times, 6 consecutive times top 3, and Forbes named her the most influential women in sport. And just 2 weeks ago, she finished another Ironman in 12 hours, and she qualified for her 29th Ironman Kona. Fernanda, I'm not able to explain what this means to have you here, for me personally and for Reconnect. Thank you so much. Let me put
Thank
you here on
you.
the...
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be with so many different people from all over the world. It's my pleasure. My pleasure to be talking to you, Renata, which is a friend from a long time. Of course, I saw you as a young girl, like trying to discover your talent in a different sport, but also connecting people, connect yourself with many people. You work with my husband when he was producing a documentary about my life. So sometimes maybe you know things about me that I don't even know because I don't like much numbers. And I'm much more connect with doing things like experience, and that's I think why you told all the stuff about me, because I love numbers, but not that I'm connect with the numbers. I just like doing it because when I see the numbers, I see how many times I spend in my whole life doing things that I love. That's when you told them that you watch the TV about how much I have to sacrifice for Kona. I think it was the only thing you told you about them that is wrong about me, because I never sacrificed anything. Actually, my passion is my work, and my work is all related to Ironman, to sport, and as a professional athlete, and today as a speaker, as a person that I work with companies as an ambassador for many different kind of companies, and experience and training, and as a mentor. So it's all about passion.
100%. And this is exactly where I was going. Like we always talk about the numbers because they're so impressive of the amount. I think it's the consistency, right, Fernanda? Because people have results sometimes, but not all the times. And I think throughout your career, there was a lot of consistency. But that was the question, right? Who are you behind all these numbers? Like as a person, who is Fernanda out of racing?
Well, I'm always a person that tries to become a better version of myself every day, because I can look in the past and be attached what things I did. Like, oh, I don't like to, I like what I accomplished, of course, because it's my resume. I'm so proud of I was able to do, and I always thank God for all the opportunity I had. But I'm always looking now and ahead, things that I want to do. I think I'm a dreamer, and my dream is always to find new ways of living better, connecting with people that I like, because I what I like about those races that has a lot to do with me is because you find so many people that has a passion and that is open to live something that expose yourself to the limits. And when you are doing some Ironman, people think is about like physical, but it's so mental. And when you have to deal with your bad version, with your good version, especially with the bad version, is a way you can uh, make yourself a better version when you finish any Ironman. Like last 2 weeks ago, I was racing and I was not training the last couple of years. And this year, I start to do little bit better training for the Ironman. And I almost did what I wanted until the half of the marathon, and then I my energy dropped down. And then it's incredible because even after more than 100 Ironman races, is about seeing where I can improve myself to the person I am today. I don't have to look at myself. No, I was able to run 9 hours, the Ironman, and get in the first place overall professional. Now I see myself and I say, listen, you have to do this, you have to do that. You can even become a better athlete with your age today. You have a lot of things that it's so motivated because you wake up with different dreams. And in a business, in everything we do in our life, uh, use our past to be proud of and to motivate us. But you face today, like what I can do today to improve myself, or and that's what defines me, a person that is always trying to challenge myself and to become a better version, no matter what I did, what what my titles are, because you always have to face the reality and improve.
Now that's really good. And talking about, reinvention and in the beginning, just to give context to everybody here, Fernanda actually brought triathlon to Brazil in the 80s, right? In a moment, in a time that women this wasn't a sport for women, right, Fernanda? So
Yeah.
what at that time gave you the certainty to move forward when nobody around you understood what you were doing?
Well, when you start something new, you don't have certain, but you have the courage, you have the faith, you have the discipline, and you have to focus in your goal, not what people say, because don't expect to have audience give you likes. You have not likes. People, because 99% of the people, they don't follow their dreams. They follow what people think is good for them. And I hear people would never marry me, and I'm married for over 30 years now. And I hear people saying that women can finish the Ironman, and I'm the only athlete in Brazil that's top 10 in Kona and top three 6 time. Not even any men and women came after me, which is I don't like it, but that proved that I was right to do it, because I didn't have a anybody in Brazil doing this, and I did the first triathlon happen in Brazil, and I think we have to instinct. You have to know what you like, And the first race I did, I thought this is so cool. And I wasn't expecting to be professional athletes. To be professional in something, you need the results, of course. I can't be a doctor if I'm afraid of seeing blood. Like I have to be ready to help people and don't freak out. So as an athlete, I can't be an athlete if I don't like training. I don't like the lifestyle. I'll be hurting myself trying to do something that doesn't fit me. And I think the success of most of the people, it tries to find something that you like to do. Like, for example, yourself, you like people. So it's easy for you to connect people. It's a pleasure job for you. Because when you're working, you are having so much fun that you don't realize that is a job for you. And as you find this, so I was not worried what people would say about me because I knew I was so young. I even today I ask how lucky I was, so brave because I wasn't afraid of what people would say. Because girls always judge other girls, like sometimes other girls say, no, you have to do this, you have to wear this, you have to, and I always did different of what people would expect from me. And people would be afraid of losing friends, but I would have one friend that is a real friend, and some people like saying they like me and they don't like me in the back. So I was true to myself, and I'm the best friend I could have to myself, because um, I can travel by myself. I can connect people by myself. I'm not afraid of people because you have first to know yourself to be that confident to connect with other people.
Yes, I think that you are the perfect actually athlete from Nike because you just do it, right? That's how you got it from the beginning, isn't it? When you look
Yeah.
back to that version of yourself, the woman that has started everything, is there anything that surprises you to these days? Like said, Jesus, that was awesome that I did.
Uh, Nothing surprised me, but I think like because today the world is very different, like I think when maybe I was very much like innocent. I was so young. I didn't know the much of the danger the world has. And so I travel a lot by myself. As a young girl, like early 20s, going to do my first Ironman in Hawaii, having no support, just calling my home from a public phone with coins, collecting calls, and having to make new friends to help me overseas. That I think was brave for a very young girl. And traveling with the bike, so much luggage, not much money, not money to rent cars, so doing everything with my bike. From one side, I look at this young. My mom was so scared, you know. But I look at me and I found so many angels in my on my ways. Like I remember arriving in Hawaii first time, and I met this gentleman and his wife from New Zealand, and they asked me if I want to join them to know the course, and they took me. I think I was such an open heart, and I so able to uh, let people take care of me in a good way. Because when I got to Hawaii, I knew most of the people there are the athletes. They are at the Ironman and they have love sports. And I was traveling to find another dreamers as much as, and then in that community, the Ironman community at the beginning was not a big business, was really two sport lovers that had the same passion, because that there was not that point was not that much money in the sport. So was kind of nice that I was open to this. So I not even developed this sport in my country, but in the world, because moving to US for training, to do training camps, because I became the best in South America. So I became the athletes, the international events, triathlon events, invite to promote the sport, because they need athletes from all over the world. So I met the guys from Switzerland, from US, from Japan, from everywhere, from Australia. So we became the world represent athletes for the new sport called triathlon and Ironman. So uh, was and that was so hard to separate myself from the Ironman, because the Ironman people see now has the side of as a business, but for me it has a lot of my life, like really my lifestyle, and really a lot of who I became is all about this international community of the endurance athletes that have so much love in this kind of life.
Now that's awesome. The Ironman Hawaii is such a big part, right, of your life, and now you have 29 qualifications for Hawaii. How long does Hawaii exist? Even it's like most of the time that the race exists, or maybe all of the time you were there, right? So, what do you think that kept you performing throughout so many years, physically, mentally, and emotionally, to go back to Kona? It's the one of the hardest. It is the hardest race in the world in Ironman, pretty much.
Well, I think because first of all, as a professional athlete, I raced 23 consecutive races there. So I had this uh, consistence, and I didn't think much about it. It was my job, and I just had to be good, and I just had to perform. I had sponsors, I have people paying for me to go. And when I started to become a professional as a result of my passion, I dedicate my life to do my training so seriously. Like I would do anything to get better, get a travel to all over the place, finding my camp in San Diego, and also find people to help me in Brazil. So I did a camp in Brazil with a coach and two best friends that are male, the best athletes at that time in Brazil. So I was able to train very hard. And then when I stopped competing as a professional, was I won Ironman Brazil very old. I had 44 years old. I wasn't expecting to have such a long career, but as I said, I was keeping going because I was having result. And then I found that I was almost 50 years old, and I said, "Hey, I'm the only one here from my my friends. All the girls that race with me, they not racing anymore." And of course, my performance was not good to be a professional athlete. Uh, I was going to have expectation that, of course, was physically impossible, and I I have to be smart to do things that I was open to do. And then the last year I raced, and the last and the first year I raced as an amateur was really interesting because it's very hard to change the battle as a professional and as a person that is has the passion for the sport. And I was playing very stupid the first race because I said, okay, I go to Kona as my first race, not as professional, but I still had some things that was not very organized in my mind, and I was racing, and then I was far away back, and a guy stopped, and then was really happened. This was is not something that I invented, and then I was far behind. I was coming back from the turnaround point that is a little seat called Javi, and then this guy came and he asked me, "Are you Fernanda Keller?" And I was so embarrassed, and I was almost ready to tell him that I was not myself because I think he was gonna ask me, "What are you doing so far behind?" And I said to him, "Yes, very." No, like I was hope he wouldn't
Shy.
listen. And then he said, he almost stopped his bike and he said, Uh, I'm so proud to be doing the same racing you are doing. Thank you so much for everything you did to the sport. You are a legend." And when he was like a punch on my face, it's like stupid, you know. You have the right to do this race as long as you want to do because you are the true legend of the sport because you've been doing this forever. You own this. Maybe you don't have the rights. You can sell Iron Man, but you own this. This is you, you know. And since this time, I understood that it's not about how fast I am. It's about how much I can keep inspire people to keep doing their passion, what they love, and don't be embarrassed. Just do what you love because we have the right to do anything you want to do, and don't let the ego or anything like that stop you from doing what you love to do. So was a big lesson, and was a long time ago. And last weekend in Brazil, I raced after 10 years not doing races in Brazil, and it was the same thing. I was racing, and I was afraid to race in Brazil. I tell you that because people in Brazil they don't care how old I am. They think I'm 35 or 50, and they think I'm going to win the Ironman. And for me, was such a beautiful surprise to go back to Florianopolis where they have the Ironman Brazil, a race that I won 5 times, and be so far behind and have as much cheering during the course in the race as I was winning as a professional, because maybe I got more cheering and more respect from the people. And I was racing, I didn't know if I cry or if I run. I was hard for me to keep up my pace because I always hear people calling me queen, a diva, and also other girls come and say, "Thank you so much. I watched you when I was 10 years old. My father told you about you, and now I'm racing. So thank you for open the doors." Uh, and that's always something for us to do. And it's not about ourselves. When you understand that everything we do is about connecting with other people, and be open and understand that all my title, they have no mean if I can't share my passion. Because if I say I won Ironman, and people say whatever is your problem. But if you can for in any way you can share your is that as much as you share, as much as we give back, you get back. Because when you think about, when you think people are, you are teaching people, they teach you. When I was when you try to motivate people, they motivate you, because they say things that you never expect, and then they give you the value that you didn't even think you have it. Like they say thank you, and I say, oh my gosh, I did something. And I think that's the purpose of life. Just cool down. you know don't put much pressure on yourself. At the very end, like when you call people to connect, is about the person, is about in how much you can give you from yourself, that's gonna make the world a better place. People, you know trust people. Now it's so hard today to find people you can trust. People are living a fake life. You have to be beautiful, you have to be fast, you have to be a lot of things that is not real. So when you connect with real people, when you go outside, and for me, Ironman is a time when you what you see in the Instagram is fake, but the real Ironman, what I see in person, is nice, because people hurt, people cry, uh, people are naked, because you can pretend you are running fast, because in real you are running really slow when people are saying that. So when you go to the real race, there's no way you can you can leave something is fake. So even if the Instagram or the media help you to fake stuff, but the real connection that we do in real life are the best.
Fernanda, that's so good. I'm gonna just ask if anyone has a question. You can put on the chat, or just lift the hand, raise the hand, and ask her, because I'm very confident there is plenty of questions out there. So you can also participate about it. I already hear here. It's about who you are. You are a legend. That's one of the comments. I don't know if you're seeing the comments, Fernanda. No, but that's amazing.
Thank
You just
you.
gave me an idea that maybe the next Reconnect event is going to be an Ironman. So we make sure everybody is naked. That's how much the movement. That's how much going through a challenge, right? Expose our true selves, I suppose. Um, when you finished this Ironman just a couple weeks ago, um, what is your body teaching you now that it couldn't teach when you were 30 years old, when you were doing this in the beginning of everything?
Uh, to be smart, because the athletes, we as athletes, when you are young, sometimes you are not smart, and it's okay, because you still have a lot of way to recover, or you have time. Your body respond quickly, and when you are older, you have to be much more smart, because just to finish a race like that is a huge challenge. And to have the dream of doing this as long as you live, you have to take much better care of your body, like in terms of how you recover, how much of training you can put in your routine, and have a kind of design for yourself, not compare yourself to the other people, and have the right people to help you. There's so much, always there is always things to improve. That's what is beautiful about it, because there's always some new technology, some new things happening. Today, like, remember when I start doing this, there's not even a proper gel for you to take in the races, so we had to eat stuff. So it's so hard to digest solid items and still able to run and performers well. And so now they have so many different ways of having drinks, and you have carbo, you have proteins, you have everything that helps you. And I think you use your experience not to be attached to the past, like people that there are people that old like me, they say no, this is not good, la la la. No, I say this is technology is good, and is now is amazing. I'm talking to all of you. I'm so lucky to be in this meeting, know different people from all. This is technology, and in sports, like the shoes I had 30 years ago, I would finish a race and I didn't look to my feet because was all red from blood. Because the technology they use to build the shoes are so different than today. Today you don't, it's like you are not wearing shoes. You are like wearing socks. You don't hurt your feet and then things like that. And also the nutrition and every so many aspects of things that you improve, especially like now my goal is going to be doing exercise, working power, because I was always so strong that I didn't pay attention much, because I don't like to be indoors is my problem. I like to be outdoors. I'm a wild animal, so I like to go up in the mountains, to go in the ocean. I like the winds. I like the dirty. I like to play outside. But I know that now I need to do some exercise. I have a bike in my house. I can put some power, because you lose a lot of power, of course, when you get older. So I need to. I have a. I'm gonna have a coach today that's gonna help me not recover all my power, of course, but work with my power that can protect my muscles so I can play harder when I'm outside. Because today I look like I'm a, like I look like my car. I have a truck, old truck, and it's a diesel. So my truck can go forever, but she's not going fast. So I need to change my engine. I have to put some power so I can go fast, a little bit faster. But if I don't prepare my body, I'm gonna get injured bad. So I have to do stuff like that. See, I'm a kid
Yeah,
because I don't know. I have new stuff to learn.
that's so good. That's awesome. We need to keep learning, right? I will read some
Always.
of the questions here, Fernanda, for you. Yeah. The
Okay.
first one is from Renata from Rio, Brazil. She asked, "Do you have any hobbies? What do you do to balance the intensity of this sport?"
Uh, I like surfing. I like being home with my husband and my dog. like spend time with my mother, and I go at least once a week to work with my institute, which is not a hobby, but is a place that I can share. I'm doing this for 30 years. Actually, at Ironman Brazil, I had a boy, 24 years old, from my institute that is I do for help young kids to learn from sports and education. So I have a university in Brazil, Estácio, as a partner. So this boy is going to graduate as a physical education at the end of the year, and he has free scholarship at the university, and is the first athlete I was able to take to do an Ironman with me. So he did so well. I was not worrying about how fast he would go because I knew he would go fast, but I was afraid he would go there and see so many expensive bikes because Ironman Brazil, you have always like 100 reais expensive bikes, 100,000, and his bike is my old bike that I have, and he finished under 10 hours with a big smile, and I had him in my side before the race start, telling him, I think I'm a really good mental coach because I put him in a state of mind that is ours is about doing it, and enjoying. Is not don't worry about what people would say. I was not expecting him to do any fast race. So he did it. This is one of the things I like to do to spend my time. So I don't have much time left because the day has only 24 hours. And unfortunately, I still have to sleep. and then there's less than 24 hours to do all the things I love to do.
That's the thing about training for Ironman. It's very intense, that's for sure. Another one
No, it's
here
not.
from
No,
Bea.
no, no, Renata. I have before I ask beer, but I answer beer. But uh, the day is faster when you spend your day doing things all the time. You see how much time I answer you like Renata. I'm doing. I don't know. Ren, wait. And Renata is like, Ren. I say, I'm gonna kill her because I told her I will do this, but she has to be patient and wait. And it's not because I don't want to, it's because it's too many things happening, you know, work, but it's not only training because I'm not professional anymore. I have, be, besides training, that's I do speeches, I do camps, I do works for companies. Uh, that's a lot of things that I do all the time, you know. That's it. Don't think I'm professional athlete now, Renata.
No. Okay. It's because you look so, that's why people when you go to the Ironman Brazil expect you to win because you look the same like 30 years ago. So
No, no.
it's amazing. This one, you've conquered some of the world's toughest endurance challenges, but when you look back on your journey, what was the most difficult mountain you had to climb within yourself?
Uh, I think it's about losing people. Uh, is the hardest mountain because you have to balance. And for me, the hardest mountain I have to climb was to say goodbye to my father in 2008. Was the last race I won. Was Ironman Brazil. I was 44 years old, and he went to the hospital, and he was in a bad condition, and I didn't know what to do. And my mom said, "Okay, you don't stop racing because he would not let want you to stop racing because of him." And then I decided to do the race to in honor of my dad. He was in the hospital still, and was such a hard time. Me and my brother and my husband. And I went to Ironman Brazil in Florianopolis with this goal, and I almost quit the race in the swimming because my heart was beating so high. I thought I was gonna die, and I talked to myself to be calm and calm down and keep doing it. And for some way, I kept going, and when I start, and I was so far way back, and for a miracle, I was able to improve on the bike. And when I start running, I said, no, I don't want to honor my dad. I want to just become an animal, a running animal. And then I need to become a running animal. I have to stop my emotional to be connected with what I'm doing here. I need to be present here. And I'm not honor anybody right now. I'm running. As you run, you have to breathe. And when you breathe, it's special. That's why it's good about sports, because you get the good oxygen and you put out the bad stuff. And I was putting out the bad stuff, all the pressure and running. And the half of the marathon, I was 1 minute to the winner, and I saw her, and I said, no, she's not gonna win this race because it's my race. And then I have to do another climb another mountain. Was just to keep myself in the same mood I was because I still had to run 21K. So, and after was 10K and then 5K and then 1K, I could hear the finish line. And when I crossed that finish line, I said to myself, we can do anything in the world when we have love and passion and when you believe. Because there's no one that can tell you, don't put everything in the God's account because he's very busy. So ask him to help you, but do your job and believe. And when I won that race, I just looked to the sky and I said, thank God, because I didn't know if I was gonna be able to finish the race. Because seriously, I had a claustrophobia in the beginning, and I was almost ready to go to the beach crying, but that was a bad option. And then I thank the angels that told me to keep going and have no no fear, because the only thing I have, if I fail, okay, but I have to try. And because I tried to climb this high mountain, I have this amazing moment to share with you right now. And this is not about me, it's about us, because we are much stronger than we think we are, especially when we connect ourselves to our power. Because I think kids are not teach at school, because if we knew since the beginning how powerful we are and how powerful love is, the world for sure would be a better place, and nobody would control us, nobody would tell us things that are not true, because we would look at them and say, don't lie to me because I know the truth. Because the truth is, we have the power to do. You don't have to believe in things that people tell you that you're not able to do, because we are able. Because if you think about a kind of spirit, we are so powerful. No, that's the hardest mountain I climb.
That's awesome. I actually remember this race, Fernanda. Was so
Thank you.
emotional, was so good. Was actually, I have goosebumps here. I feel emotional for real. There is one here from Bertrand from Switzerland. Can you please share? I think it's another moment, maybe. Can you please share one of your toughest moments? People want to know your toughest moments, Fernanda, that's for sure. When you wanted to give up on one of your dreams in life, psychologically, not necessarily physically, and what helped you to keep going?
Uh, I think I still never, I still never gave up in any of my dreams, because I I believe that my roots are so strong, like family. If and family, I have I have my mom, my brother, my husband, but sometimes people don't have the mother together or the father, but the family we build is very, very important, because all the times in life things go really bad, not it's not always going the way we wanted. And I think what make us give up on our dreams is, uh, we feel like scary. You feel that people only like us when you are with money, or when we are doing well. But if you have good family, people to if you like people to relate, people you can be true. Like people say, hey guy, I'm so bad today. I don't know what to do. Like the story you're telling me before, Renata, when you have to rebuild yourself, your company, and everything. When you have one friend, two friends that you can tell your weakness, what's going on, and sometimes they don't have anything to tell you, just for listen to you. You know, it's so I think that's why I never gave up on my dreams, because I make very strong connection with people that would wait for me at the finish line, no matter if I finish first or if I would be the last one to finish. And if I didn't finish, I have I go home and I can have their lap to seats. My father and my mother, since the beginning when I start to become an athlete, when I win, they celebrate with me, but not too much. They never let me became. Always they say, not that much, Fernanda. Down, down, down. Not that much. You know, and because always sometimes when I not win or had a bad race, I go home. The party was the same. They are glad that I was alive. You find people that are just glad to check on you, that if you're healthy and alive. A friend that call you and say, Are you doing okay? They're not asking you if I'm making much money. They ask you if you are doing okay. That's the person that helps you never give up on your dream, because they don't care how much money you're making, but they really care if you're sick or if you're lonely or if because the mental health today is an issue because people are living in a world that doesn't exist, a world that there's no failure, where there's no love, that people don't look in their eyes, people don't care about the others, they don't respect the others. You know, this is a bad word for kids to live or to dream. It's so scary. So we have to change this by
Yeah.
change ourselves.
Very good, very inspiring. Kevin here, he's asking you. You've spoken about removing pressure to enable top performance. In business, many of us are still managed heavily through targets and numbers. Have you seen organizations or leaders successfully apply this mindset in the workplace? And what impact did it have on performance?
The only way you have good numbers if you have good mental health. There's no way. I have very good friends that run huge companies. They have so much money, and I see them after a run. They just have the decision. They took a week to take, but when you go for a run, their mind is, completely open to get solutions that you can have indoors, like killing yourself. I think and this that's not I'm not saying that numbers doesn't matter. I'm saying that to the results of, because there is a mix of who is going to make the numbers grow up and stuff are the humans, you know who is controlling the artificial intelligence. The humans has to control that. When you ask for ideas, what is the answer, you have to know to place the right question. If you place a stupid question to them, they give you back the wrong answer. So if you want your company to be healthy in numbers, you need healthy people to work, because people sick, you can improve numbers. But people need, of course, it's not like you're gonna let people surf, go to the beach all the day, but they need few moments, few hours to place the battery, our battery, like to have at least a moment that you can uh, recharge yourself to face the problems. When you face problems with mind more refreshed, you are able to have ideas or to function better.
100%, Kevin. We need to constantly be reconnecting with ourselves in terms of being humans, because it's it's tough to follow targets and numbers when we are not doing well. Like it's just almost impossible, I would say. And this is not just for business. I would say that to perform in a sport like what Fernanda does, it's very hard as well if you're not in check with yourself, right? Fernanda, I have another one here for you. Now going back into the sport. If we stripped away training, talent, and preparation, what is the one thing that actually kept you in the top 10 in Hawaii, the top three in Hawaii 6 times?
uh I before I go to Hawaii, I had my dress ready because I knew I was going to be there. So it's not a doubt. I had my dress, I had my shoe, I have everything ready because there's no doubt I would be in the top 10. So I was top 10 14 times, 14 years, because I believed. So I think you if you don't believe in yourself, who else is going to believe? I think you have the work to do, but you have to believe. When you go to sell yourself, when you have a business, as an athlete, everything you have to believe. Because if you tell a story to me or to anybody that even yourself you don't believe, what do you expect? Nobody's going to believe, and it's not going to happen. Belief, I think, faith.
That's really true. It's the visualization as well, right, Fernanda? It's to visualize yourself in that place that you want to be, and you believe it becomes true as you do the work, right? Because of course you still have to do the work. Um, what is something that happened to you in Kona that people would not believe if it wasn't you saying?
Uh, I don't know. Okay. Okay. I have one thing to say. Like, few years ago, I was celebrating 6 decades of life. Uh, my birthday is October 4th, so I was in Hawaii. I was with my mom and my husband, and I invited all the Brazilian girls to go with me for a ride in my birthday to celebrate. And I made a beautiful flower white shirt, and now all of them, like 99%, were there with me. We did his beautiful ride, and I was with them riding before the race, and I was sharing everything I knew. And one point I stopped riding. I say, "Gal, stop here. This is the point. Then we are going to be at the marathon, which is a very difficult point. I just want you guys to know that right here, sometimes you have nothing left. And if that happened to you at the race day, go to the end with your heart, because sometimes you have nothing in your body, but you have your heart. Your heart can take you to the finish line." And blah, 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 blah. And I was race day, less than a week. And it was exactly at the same point, not a meter left and a meter behind, whatever, that point. Who was there struggling? Myself. And then, a Brazilian girl that was in that ride, she came as an angel and she said, "Fernanda, Queen," she called me Queen, "Queen, go with your heart." And I said, "Everything you teach, you got the lesson back." So she gave me the lesson I just gave her a few days before. And she told me exactly what I need to hear to finish the race very late, because I had to walk most of the marathon and I finished the race. And that's how it works. Sometimes you think you're teaching, you're learning from them. Few days later, and that story was, for me, inspired me a lot, because was something that I thought I was making the difference, and she was making the difference in my life.
That's awesome. Very good story. One more here. I think one of the last ones. What is the biggest lie people tell themselves about Ironman racing when they watch it from outside?
Uh, lie. I think they believe they are better than the others just because they do the Ironman. Uh, I think, and they are not. You're not. No, no, no. Don't. This is not the thing. I know that you is something that you brag. Like, I finished an Ironman. You have to brag. You have to say, you have to be proud. But doesn't mean you're better than anybody, because I'm friend of the person, the couple. John and Judy Collins are the guys that invent the Ironman. And he said, swim 3.8 kilometers, ride 108 kilometers on the bike, and run a marathon and brag for the rest of her life. And he said, you must finish what you started. And that means uh, you have to balance the ego, and sometimes people go too much. It's not this. Because you are just the same in the same guy that finished actually the guys that finish at the midnight when nobody's watching, for me, they are the true Ironman. Because I saw myself when I was professional, and I look at that's when I start to understand what my sport was about. I was very young and I was going home. I was in the top position, and I saw a lady. She was Sister Madonna. She was 80 years old, and I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat. And she still has to finish the bike and run. And I said, I'm not the Ironman. They are the Ironman. And I start going every year to the finish line to understand who are the winners, the true winners. And now it's not about who finished first. So uh, that's why I see the sport and that I learned so much from these people because Jake Hoyt, the one that passed away a few years ago with his son, I when I saw that, I said, "Oh my gosh, does this boy like to do the right race?" Because he was this guy with his kids. He's gonna spend the whole day in the sun, pushing his kids in the bike and the run. And I was worried about the kids. And I went back to the finish line because I wanted to understand that better. And when I saw the kid finish the finish line, smiling with the dads, was a punch on my face. I was like, oh my gosh, this is the real meaning of all of this. You know, he gave to his kids the chance to live something special, extraordinary. And that was this, it was something that you have to respect. It's a different way to see the Ironman. The Ironman is not about Fernanda Keller in the top 10. It's about l- different lives, transformation, getting better, get together, and learning from the other people challenge, and it's teach you so much when you not focus on yourself. You need to focus on yourself just to finish the race. But the other side, look around. It's the beauty of all of that. It's a beautiful party. That's why I keep going because it's such a beautiful party. Depends the eye you see it. People see the Ironman, they say, I don't like the people freaking out with the bikes, but I don't see this way. And I don't have to see the way people see. I want to see this way. There's still people doing the race like this, and they are the people that inspire me to go back. I want to become one of them because I became one of them because when I started doing the race, I was so young. I was 20 years old, and one year I was there, and I look at my number and say, "Oh my gosh, look at my number." Look at the ages. And I didn't see that, I didn't feel that I was that old. And I say, I became the ladies that I was inspired by them. I became the 60 years old age that are doing the Ironman because they are my true inspiration because they are doing something that is so hard to do it. It's for sure it's nothing to do with beating people. Just get together, push ourselves. The other girls are there, they inspire me in my age, in other age. They have you have to inspire each other to keep going and keep doing.
Fernanda, one last question for you. I have seen and interviewed so many athletes before that does Ironman, Olympic distances, professional athletes, and it's so hard to find the type of mindset that you do, right? Because it's not just the mindset of doing the work and in being consistent, disciplined, and persistent and resilient, but also the passion to don't lose the passion even on the days that are not the best days, right? And I think that this applies not just for sport but in business as well. Happens the same. It's a constant up and down, right? Because there are days that, as Kevin was saying, we perform, we sell, it's beautiful, but there are days that none of these things happen, and you have to keep going, you have to keep pushing. So in all these years doing the Ironman and working on your mindset, is there anything that you have done to get to where you are right now with the way that you think? Any exercise, activity, anything practical, right, tangible that you have done that can also help people in to do it in their, business career or in what they are doing with their mind as well?
I think I have actually. I want to call him because I miss him a lot. I have a coach. His name is Orlando Cunny. He's 90 something years old. Uh, and one time he told me that I had to look in the mirror to myself, naked, and be humble to myself. Humble, humble. And if you're humble to yourself, you'll be humble to the other people. Sometimes people are, and it's not being, you don't have to be like, uh, it's not charity, be humble, take it easy, be humble. Because some people are not humble and like they are to themselves, they are so mean to themselves that they can't help others. You have to look at yourself and set up goals. There are goals that you can achieve because sometimes you expect from yourself things that is impossible. So you're gonna live your life in a frustration all the time because you're never gonna get your goal because you think to yourself things that are too much impossible, and there are so many things possible to make you feel good, to make you feel that you are a winner, you are good. And it has to do with yourself first, and then you are able to do and share this with other people. That doesn't mean that you go to the company and say people, I don't have to work, go home, and it's not like that. But like empathy, humble, words that, I am a very, when I coach my kids, sometimes are very, hard because I'm from the older generation. I'm not this generation that you have to say what they want to hear. I say everything they don't want to hear. I push them to the limits. I say the truth. They don't like to hear because if they cry, if they say I'm bullying them, I'm not bullying them. I tell you the truth. If you don't do the work, you don't have the result. But I'm sore. I'm 6 year old. I'm not sore. You have to be doing the work. I'm this kind of coach. But at the same time, I understand that this is a process. I make them confident, be humble. So that's, and to yourself, because sometimes you just need a break. So like break time, you know, and then you're not like we are not super heroes. You are human. You need that understanding to make it better.
Fernanda, thank you so much for your time. It was the fastest hour I think I ever had in a fireside chat. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing your
My
wisdom.
pleasure. My pleasure.
You are amazing, and I hope to have you further on the road again, hopefully in person as well for one of our live
Yeah.
experiences. Team, thank you so much, everyone, for being here from all over the world. You are an inspiration for us all. And wishing you all of the very best for your 29th Ironman Kona. And
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
assume
Mahalo.
another birthday in the island.
I hope
Thank you
so.
so much.
Thank you, guys. My pleasure. Anytime, Renata. Sorry, I was in the process of getting ready to the Floripa. It was a lot to do, and also working uh, in selling the, because I produce, so I have to sell the project. So now I'm in another production to sell the new project. So working with my agent, which is House KE, is a new agent. I'm working with them. So this time we work with L'Oreal and New Bank was the companies that was able to take me to Floripa. So now I'm doing this and a new project to Kona 29. So always busy, always working, always living this
No,
beautiful life. But I hope
no
to go to
problems at all.
Italy. Yeah. I want to take my
Yes,
mom.
100%.
I want to take my mom to the home. I never been to home, so I want to go with my mother
Now
one time.
let's organize that for sure. And I will share with everybody. Share with me after the link of all your projects so I can share with the
Yeah.
community and everybody. I think everyone will love to follow you.
There's two things I want to do in Italy. One is go to the home with my mother, but then I want to go to the Dolomites, the mountain. But my mom will hate that because my mom doesn't like when I take her to any adventure because she's like city. She's the opposite, and so I'm trying to see what I can do to have a trip that me and my mom, because every time she's like, don't take me to any trail, to any crazy stuff you do, you know. I like to have a wine. I walk. I do Pilates, but I don't like to go on a boat. I put her in Hawaii in a stand-up paddle, and she almost cry. Make me go take her back to the hotel, to the chair in the hotel because she wanna just read the book. So I will find a way to find this trip.
Look, if you come to Italy to the Dolomites, I can make sure that your mom's gonna be fine. No worries.
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Fernanda, thank you so
Mahalo.
much.
Thank you.
You are
Thank you.
amazing. Bye bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.